Sounds awesome. Welcome back to Stay Tuned. I'm Tony Angelo. We are going to get my freshly turbocharged LS Swap 911, the Powerkraut, out to the dyno today and see what kind of power we can make with this thing. As you can see, we made a pretty wild, loud, and proud turbo kit. We hung two ball-bearing 62mm turbos well off the back of a 911, as God intended with a turbo 911. And now we're going to see what this thing can do. It already made about 400 horsepower NA out of the aluminum 5.3 liter LS. And we're trying to add, I don't know, a couple hundred more. So let's get after it. Come on, tired of sitting down. So last time we threw a set of bigger Holley injectors in this thing because you need more fuel to make more power. And then we hung this set of mirror image VS Racing ball bearing billet compressor wheel 62mm turbos off the back of this puppy. Right where you want them, behind the rear bumper in a 911. It was pretty tricky to get everything to fit, but it's all jammed in there. This turbo comes and feeds this Y pipe we fabbed up. You can see it there. There's turbo up pipes that come off of our old header, and then it's just kind of a Y merge, and that air is getting crammed up into our drive-by-wire throttle body there. This is a tough fit before the turbochargers, but somehow we managed to make it all go, and I'm pumped about it. We have a couple things, if you were watching last week's episode, and if you notice, I'm still wearing the same outfit because we finished that one and now we're rocking onto this one. We have to do a couple of things. Yes, we have to connect some boost lines to the wastegates. We're gonna put softer springs in them, make little dump tubes for those puppies, and then we're gonna hit the road, head up to the sloppy guys and get this thing up on Struggle Street. That's what they call their dyno. All right, so first thing we gotta do to get to the dyno, these wastegates have to be hooked up to some vacuum lines so they can actually control the boost. I'm gonna put softer springs in there so we start around 5 PSI. And Barb is gonna quick make up a couple of just short dump tubes. I would say maybe not too low because they are kind of far out, but at least, you know, something to get the flow out and down. You know, we don't want it blowing right into the intake there. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it mounted on the up pipe. I think I can just knock this V-band off and go from there, and then you can at least leave the housing on so you can do what you gotta do. Oh, good. So there's a diaphragm in here that when boost hits the bottom of it, it overpowers this spring at a certain PSI, and it lifts it up and puts exhaust gases around the turbos, slowing it down and controlling your boost. Well, actually, this isn't even a diaphragm. This has a piston with essentially rubber piston rings, but you get the idea, same thing. So yeah, the boost will push this thing up, lift this valve up, and let exhaust gas out. So I'm gonna go in here and change one of these springs. All right, so I think this is definitely lighter. There's a camera there, hold it in front of it. Right?
Lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Cool. You cutting stuff? I'll get you. I'll get you there, bud.
All right, so I've got this U-bend that I've already cut in half here. Make one little mark here on the radius, cut it off, get a little tube coming out here. That way we got pew-pews coming from here, pew-pews coming from there, from there. It's gonna be a lot of good sounds.
Yeah, a lot going on. Screaming, intake, blow-off valve explosions.
I was tired for like 10 minutes. I mean, I'm still tired, but
yeah.
I'm ready to rock here.
So, can you throw this clamp on while I hold it?
What was in there?
What?
What spring was in there?
The one on your right hand.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave the outside one in.
Got it.
And just take this one. It should be a combo. It should be a little less intense now.
Okay. All right. So here's this piece of the flange, and I think this is just dumb enough. What do you think?
Out there is too dumb. Go back this way. More. Give me like in line. Oh, that's perfect. That's dumb and good.
All right. Well, I'll weld it to this thing, and then we'll put the thing in.
Yeah, we just spin it around. Yeah, sounds great.
All right, Jeb. I'm gonna weld this.
Do it up.
Okay. Here we go.
Prove it. All right, so we quickly whipped together a boost control system. Barb's got these dump pipes here, so when the wastegate's open, they'll scream that extra exhaust out the back. I have the lighter springs in, and we have run lines up here, 2 manifold vacuum and boost, 1 on each side. Should be good to go. We are going to drop this sucker down, unload the trailer, get the bone marrow out of that thing, put it in my shop for the first time in quite a few years, now that it's actually mine. Stoked on that. Load this thing up and head up to the Sloppy Mechanics dyno and see what this thing can do. We recently invested in a new trailer upgrade, so we have this enclosed, which is perfect. Picked this sucker up in Tennessee. There she is.
Turbo LS gang.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not an LS guy. I don't know who I am anymore.
I'll tell you who you are.
All right. Ooh, too close. One of my favorite new things in the shop is our Bamboo Lab X1C 3D printer. This thing is super awesome. I always thought 3D printing was really cool, but never knew more about it. Barb comes to more of the design side. I know it's great for rapid prototyping. What's awesome about the Bamboo system is you can use all sorts of different filaments. There's all sorts of versatile compatibility. It's really cool. It's not like you have to spend forever trying to figure this stuff out. There's stuff you can come in and print really quickly, like this scraper, boom, right off the bat. I'm currently printing some LS cathedral port intake plugs. You can knock 8 of these out and then just spray paint your heads if you want, or you can use them for storage, stuff like that. We've been doing all sorts of things. Barb is making a mount for a Holly Dash in the 70 Street Strip Hemi Dart. That is turning out wicked awesome. And my 911, we're working on right now, famously has no cup holders, right? It's a Porsche, it's German, it's not about comfort, it's about getting there safely and in the best way possible. But this is America, I'm gonna put a big gulp somewhere, right? Guess what? Bamboo Lab 3D printers to the rescue. You can 3D print, pull your ashtray out because nobody's smoking these days, and put a sweet cup holder right in there and print it yourself, which is just wicked cool. And what's really cool about the X1C is that it's a huge bang for the buck. The price of these things used to be insane, and they weren't even all that great, and they were super complicated. You had to assemble them and stuff. Now, you can get a killer printer at a great price and a great value, and it is a very serious machine. Barb is always over here. He's like printing this and that. He's just squirreled away on his computer, drawing stuff up and printing it all the time. He'll tell you about it.
So we've got Tony's dad's 68 Camaro coming to the shop pretty soon, and I wanted to whip up a couple of parts for it. I made a set of these Dash 6 AN hose separators, which you can either bolt together or you can just send a self-tapper directly through these right into the floor of the car. And I also whipped up one of these pass-throughs for the firewall for the Terminator X wiring harness. So you can send the main harness through the big hole, you can send the power harness through the smaller hole right to the battery. This rectangle kind of goes on the inside of the firewall. Cut a hole out for the wires, and then these 3 pieces go on the outside of the firewall, sandwich everything together. Kind of a nice, clean, tidy solution.
So go to the link in my description right now if you want to pick up an X1C or any of the other sweet printers that Bamboo Lab offers. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video, and go get yourself a piece of technology. They are honestly wicked. Let's go. All right, we are here in this clandestine garage. We finally brought a Turbo LS car to the Church of Turbo LS, which is the Sloppy Mechanics guys. They're here in Allentown, PA. Huge pioneers of cheap, fast, dirty LS turbo kits. So that's super. This is Matt. Tell us everything.
Well, I would say...
How did it start? Because I became aware of you guys when I built the bone marrow in like 2015, and there was already like a whole wiki page, and I followed that recipe with the bone marrow like to a T. and
I
made.
could tell.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
You did give a shout. We talked about this.
Yeah, yeah,
before.
yeah. I gave more of a shout out, but
You
it got
said they
cut
cut-
off
yeah,
TV,
whatever.
and I was too early in the.
I was happy that one thing was said.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, we're doing this thing. I found it all online. Like, is this cam and these packs.
Once you
the
said
Pac
Deca
12,
80s
whatever.
and
Yeah,
packs, and I'm like, yeah, that's.
Yeah, that's you guys.
I know where you were.
Plus, you know, I was.
I know what you did last
Yeah,
summer.
exactly. So full on followed the recipe, and that car rips. Which, by the way, I just brought it. I just
I
bought
saw
it
you got
and
it
brought it
back,
home.
yeah.
So you get. It'd be cool if you tuned it at some point.
Yeah.
So that'd be
Be
fun.
cool to put flex on it.
Yeah, it's on E.
Oh, it already is. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It should be. We'll turn that sucker up. But anyway, tell me how it all. Like, what's the first? So that's like pre 2015. You and your bros started doing
Oh
it.
yeah, like probably 06
06.
or earlier because yeah, probably 04 or 06
Mm-hmm.
because I started a YouTube channel when YouTube opened because we used to put videos on streetfire.net.
Whoa.
You ever hear of that?
Yes.
That used to have a limit on file size and how long it could be and a lot of things. So YouTube came out and they were like, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. This will be easier. So I started an account and I got a thing the other day, a message on my YouTube app that says congratulations on 19 years.
Whoa, that's amazing.
I posted it on Sloppy. I screenshot it and posted it on Sloppy.
Yeah.
And people are like, I'm 18.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, of
And I'm like,
course.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they're like, I've been watching since I was 10, and I'm like, dude, I'm talking to a grown man with a beard. That feels intense.
How it originally started was cash for clunkers wasn't a thing. We could buy cars for 150 bucks.
Yeah.
One of my friends worked at a Ford dealer. Old ladies would trade in like 84 LTDs, Crown Vics, whatever. And we would buy them for $150, drive them through fields and coal roads and
Yeah.
ramp them and jump them and knock the front suspension off and then scrap them for $350.
Nice.
So we would make 200 bucks on a weekend being absolute idiots.
Yeah.
And then what we started doing is like, this makes no power. Let's spray it with nitrous.
Yeah.
And then we blew stuff up, backfired it, whatever. We learned all the dumb things people do. Because nitrous is very easy.
Yeah.
But there's dumb stuff people do. Figured out all that. Started making good, reliable power. We did like nitrous rental cars and all sorts
Oh,
of
yeah,
stuff in
that's
like
fun.
06. We would get them from the air. I'm out of statute of limitations now.
Got it.
But airports right here.
Yeah.
We would get them out of the airport rental place and yeah. Nitrous rental car. What did it hit? What did it hit, guy? Hold on. We got a rental car, put it on here, doubled the power, took it to Island, ran it on motor, and then on spray. It picked up 4 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
our claim to fame was we would we'd unplug the horn and hook that up to the nitrous kit.
Oh, yeah,
Drive.
momentary switch and
Because
hit it.
you're in the car
Yeah.
and it takes 2 seconds.
That's
and then
awesome.
You don't have to wire. It's fused, relayed, everything.
Yeah, under the hood.
Yeah, dumb as hell.
That
so,
makes sense.
And I'll give credit to Kyle Loftus. I
Okay.
saw that Parrish guy built a 5.3 turbo
Mm-hmm.
TH400 car, and it had like a Megasquirt 1 and a 6010 box. And then Turbo LS. I bought a Fairmont for
Yeah.
like $200.
And this is
and
when?
did a Turbo LS 08,
Oh, wow. Yeah. way
09.
back.
I'd have to
Awesome.
check to make sure.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But very early because I mean my foot brake 9-second Fairmont was in like 10 or 12.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was wild.
That's cool.
So we were already doing it before then,
Yeah.
but so I built a turbo Fairmont, and it made like 550, not even trying.
Yeah.
And it would just annihilate tire from
Yeah.
every speed, and I'm like,
Turbo
what the
is
hell
the
am I
way.
building
You're like,
anything
turbo
for
is
other
the
than?
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had 4,600 bucks into the car, and I had access to this. Well, it's my friend owns this paving company. People are like, "Bah," people know the story basically.
Yeah.
But my buddy Troy owns this place, and when they built the place, they like cars, and everybody's like lying and blowing shit up. 03, 04 is when they bought Cobras
Yeah.
and Lightnings, and
Of
all
course.
people were doing is torching them. So, from what I understand, mostly right. Someone might have to correct me or not. The estimator took SCT classes. That's been up there since 03.
Okay.
He took SCT classes enough to tune everybody's Lightning, Cobra to make the dyno payments.
Oh, cool.
And then as soon as I heard there was a dyno,
Yeah, get in.
I'm like, I want to put our yard cars on it
Yeah.
and spray them and whatever. But then that evolved to Troy likes nice things like the Mustang and this thing.
Yeah.
We would always bring stuff like this, and we could tell he's too nice to say it,
Yeah, he's like-
but he's kind of like, I don't want to be here.
He's like, here are the keys.
I got
Lock up when you're
but
done.
eventually, yeah, he's like, here's keys and an alarm code.
Yeah. Good luck.
So yeah, we would bring dirt cars here and do that, and then after a while, like I said, I started tuning stuff for myself and friends. Got decent at it, and that's still pretty much all I do is for
Yeah.
my friends and whatever.
just if you
but
feel
just
like
got
it.
good at it through
Yeah.
repetition.
All right, so let's talk about this beast right here. Total sleeper style, which I love. It is a 78, you said? So
The
this is
first Fox,
the first year of the Fox chassis.
what I call box top Foxes.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Not a Mustang. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
not a
passenger
Mustang.
car.
But look at this thing. It is drab green. It has some chrome here and there.
I think the
And the
price
80s
sheet,
pinstripe.
I think the sheet. I had the door sticker. I have it at home so it doesn't get ruined. It said emerald green.
Oh yeah, yeah. I buy it. You know, like you look. It's got. Are those 4-lug wheels?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
4-lug
They're
wheels.
LX Mustang wheels.
baby.
Yeah.
10 holes.
10 holes, phone dials. People
Yeah.
have a couple names for them,
Yeah.
but they're my favorite.
So what is this car packing looking like? This?
Well, I've put 7 of these cars together with 3 combinations in each one, and I've made YouTube videos about them all. But yeah, this is what it is now. It's my 7th one. Yeah. Yep.
So that's an iron 6-liter.
Yes, it's a LY6.
Oh yeah.
So this is an 85 millimeter turbo LS with a 6L80E is the summary.
Awesome.
Yes. But
And
then
what are you
there's
tuning
way
the
more-
6L80 on it?
A Holly Terminator has 6L support.
Yeah. And what kind of power does this make?
Oh, I made 700 on 8 pounds.
You've
Rear wheel through an
Yeah.
auto.
700 wheel.
Yeah, the
8
only
pounds of boost.
why I quit was I have a stock 7.5-inch diff.
Yeah.
And it has stock brakes.
Jeez.
And I have a diff that's at his shop that we're gonna do like inboard coilovers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I just haven't done. We have 18 cars, my wife and I.
Yeah.
So we've been doing a lot of other stuff that.
You have 18
I
cars.
think I have 18 cars right now. Yeah.
Yeah, but completely stock LY6. I didn't open. The heads have never been off it. Look how.
Really?
Look at the beautiful golden
Yeah.
crusty that follows in and out, right?
That's
So this is
awesome.
a used LS3 intake,
Yep.
and these are stock LS3 fuel rails.
So you didn't gap the rings?
No, I don't touch them. No,
This is a stock long
completely
block
stock,
with a cam.
unopened. It has a cam and valve springs. I don't open them.
LY6 is a god's mode.
Yeah, that's what we
I
have.
say
Yeah.
I try not to say it too often, but it's my favorite.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you don't want to drive the prices up.
Yeah.
I ruin everything.
Yeah.
But I don't open them I tell people not to open them at all
leave
because
'em alone.
most of the people are doing E85.
Yeah.
The top ring will never get hot enough to butt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've done so many in the
That makes sense.
800 range, it's ridiculous.
So we are here. The 911 Powerkraut, as we call it, is strapped down. We've got the new twin 62 millimeter turbos on the back of this puppy. Matt is going to tickle the keys and make this sucker sing. I cannot wait. As you've seen, he knows exactly his way around a Turbo LS, and I'm super pumped to see what this thing can do. Limitations, we think our clutch can hold around 580 pound-feet of torque, and I don't think that this transmission is going to like much more than that either, but we're going to see what happens. Also, that's a whole lot in a car that weighs 2,900 pounds. Yeah, it should be wicked.
I'm just gonna look at the, oh yeah, we get the car in the roller. We tighten it down. Once we roll rear-wheel drive car or front-wheel drive, they're going to move where they want to go. So once it straightens out, we'll check the straps and see if it wants to wiggle. It probably won't, but if it wants to wiggle, we would, you know, do some more strappage to hold it in place. Get the dyno set up, get the tach reading right, or do calibration by mile an hour. It's a turbo car, so I hook up my boost sensor because it'll log the boost over the dyno plot, and I have a special math channel to tell you horsepower per pound, all sorts of cool things. And then I look at the base map and frown for a while, and then, no, I just make sure everything's half decent. All the sensors look good, which you guys pretty much did. There we go. You guys did. I mean, I heard you revving it. It sounded good.
Should we get some guesses here?
What? Horsepowers? Yeah. I hate this game. Let's do it. Well, the thing is this. I believe the motor setup can probably overwhelm this clutch. But it'd be great if we could see like 500 wheel. 500 wheel in this car would be bananas. I don't know if it's going to hold. The clutch is going to hold. We'll see.
I mean, I think you're good all day for that until you hit clutch and trans problems.
Yeah. What do you think, Barb?
I'm going to say 585 for the tire.
Out of here. I mean, there's no way. I mean, first off, this car will be
Matt?
ridiculous, but
Tire?
I like it.
I mean, I want to see how much boost it makes. I could make probably 600, but roast the clutch off. Or, I mean, those turbos will go 1,000 rear wheel on a car like this. So, it's, how far can we get? How far you want to go? Well, maybe we'll start smelling clutch. Maybe we'll lose fifth gear. It'll make what, you know, more than you want to make. So what I'd have to answer, like, after we see, like, if inlet temps are out of control, how much horsepower we can. It'll make whatever we want. That's like a funny question. It's a loaded question. It's not like when it's all motor and I'm like, eh. It'll make what I want until it doesn't. Yeah. I'm gonna roll in and out of it. I'm not gonna go.
So first messing around pull, 448 wheel horsepower. Max torque question mark.
7 pounds.
7 pounds of boost. Yow. I really felt like I had the drive-by-wire dialed before we put the throttle body 8 feet away on a 3-inch pipe.
Okay.
Or like, 8 inches away.
Yeah,
but
see if I can
maybe
fix
you
it.
can get it a little bit crispier, but I never.
It was so good, dude.
It was incredible. And then I got it a little bit better, but it was never the same. Fans running?
I don't know. Are they pinned?
Matt's been messing with the throttle response and all the tip in stuff for a while. All of a sudden we got a big spray of coolant out the back. Want to make sure the new computer is set up to run the fans the same way and everything. So he can go into the output test and flip them on and we'll see if it's working. We have them both on one, I believe. This car has the third optional middle radiator, which is nice because it was automatic. And it shouldn't be a huge. It never really gets hot.
I'll do the thing quick. The stuff and the thing.
There you go. They're running now.
Oh, I didn't turn on any outputs though. This is what's funny.
Now you didn't change anything?
No, I didn't turn anything on.
Okay. Well, they were on there.
I just went into like output test mode.
Yeah.
And they turned on.
How hot did it get? Don't tell me. That'd just be a mystery. Sure, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't do any coolant stuff. Yeah, it's weird that it turns them on. Let me check the
I never
pins.
ran this tune though.
Oh, maybe they're not pinned.
Yeah. I had it on.
There's nothing pinned for fans.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they couldn't have been on.
No way. You'll be fine. X-Pipe is getting red hot, dog. You see that? Sounds awesome. Dang. Sounds killer. He's got it running super smooth. What? Too much.
Yeah, it was 484-ish. Because that's a clutch out spike.
Yeah.
See, the car, like, this is getting into the roller, the bounciness of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made proper run number two, 512 wheel horsepower and 463 torque at the tires. This thing is going to be just an absolute psychopath. This thing is going to be a rocket ship. All right, so we're looking at it. Matt's saying there's a little, when he dips the clutch in, it runs up a little bit. So true power is probably more like 485 at the tires.
I can nick it. Yeah, take a look at that.
You can see it right there. But
yeah, 480-ish.
First off,
real flat.
I think we probably added 165 already at 7 pounds of boost.
At 4,500. Oh, sorry.
Brutally fast. So this should be bananas. But he hasn't ran it all the way out yet. He's thinking maybe another couple hundred RPM more.
It was starting to roll over like 6,500-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe a little bit more just to get it in there. But yeah, that's a clutch spike, unfortunately. But yeah, 22 horsepower per pound. Very good.
That's good. That's efficient.
Yep. That's a good number.
Yeah.
In the 20s.
I mean, we added an easy 160 horsepower.
It's 380 here at 4,500 already, and then it goes to 480. So 4 to 6 is it's like VTEC, but not sucking.
Yeah. This car, I'm super excited about it. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. It sounds awesome, and we'll push it a little more. But
7,000 free revs. Then.
We whipped this kit together. There's no intercooler. It's coming off our little header X-pipe experiment, and it sounds killer. It's running awesome. I'm pumped. It's still together.
Yeah, it was pulling like 15% up top where I didn't rev it previously. So we'll trim it, and then knowing what it is, I'll probably pull some timing out and see if power falls off bad instead of putting it in.
Yep.
If it was an intercooled car, I'd just put like 2 in it and see.
Add a bunch of timing.
I just put 2 in, but this time I'll pull 2 out and see if we don't even need what it has.
This car is, I can't wait to drive this car.
I like how it's just like, it's like turbo timer. You're like, whoa, it shuts off. It started nice that time too. So yeah, I pulled a bunch of ignition out of it and it didn't really fall off much.
Not
I don't know
much.
why it's scaled all dicked up. I'll try to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, it made 460.
460,
Yeah.
440 torque.
I pulled 2 or 3 out.
You
I'll
pulled-
have to check because it interpolates a little, but 2 or 3 out.
So he's trying to see if he's got around the healthiest ignition timing possible without adding a bunch and blowing it up.
Yeah.
There's no intercooler.
Get it
And
in
it's
a-
on pump
in a
gas.
good spot.
So he's going the other way, pulling a bunch and seeing how much it hurts it, and going, okay, not
And then
that
I
bad.
neuter them slightly because I know you're gonna hammer it.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I do for almost everybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you gonna beat the tar out of this? And they're like, they like don't want to answer me, and I'm like, I'll tune it accordingly. If you're one of those guys that like absolutely cools it off, puts a squirrel fan under it, checks all your plugs at the track,
Yeah.
makes 1 pass an hour, we can really lean on it.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna just beat the tar out of it, we're gonna,
The second one. We're gonna do the second one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
You're gonna put that. What are you running total timing ish? You have any idea?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna take a look at. Yeah, see, it didn't fall off much with like 2 or 3 degrees out of it.
Yeah.
I think I had 20 in it on 7 pounds all the way up at 6,000.
Okay.
And now I think it should have 17. I set it near. So we're gonna take a look at 16 and a half.
Okay.
7 pounds, 16 and a half degrees. I mean, to put it on a lot of cars, I run about 14 pounds, 14 degrees.
Yeah.
So this is,
Pretty mild.
yeah, it's pretty mild. And it looks like it, well, but I did go from like 20 something.
Then
over
go
that.
back halfway.
Yeah, lost approximately 10 horsepower per degree, I think. Let me line these up. Won't be able to see how much.
All right, so Matt has decided to add a little more timing back in it, a little more than ever, and lean it out a little bit. So we're really pushing for probably peak power. We're going to pull out of this thing around just under 8 psi of boost. We'll see what it does. I'm excited, mildly nervous, and we'll see what it does. It sounds killer so far. I'm excited to drive. I'm super excited to drive this thing. Then also we're going to ask him for the crackle tune at the end there. Make sure it blasts out some fireballs.
Pops and bangs for the
Yeah, yeah.
Volkswagen kids.
Yep. I thought those were Beamer guys.
All of them.
Everybody know you still got it.
That's a hot one. That was a hot one. I can feel it.
Yeah, it sounded like it fireballed nice.
It did fireball nice. Yeah,
I clutched and it went paw. I think
big-
I was near the soft limiter. That's why it did it.
Ooh. Yeah. Didn't seem like a soft limiter to me.
What's happening here?
How much power did it make?
510 peak, but that's also, we're always looking at the clutch out number.
Yeah,
But look at the mid range, it really liked the spark.
it did.
So, you know, we'll trade off there. Because that, oh, was that a previous one? I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
sure.
that's this.
Oh, yeah, that was another one.
That's the first one.
The green
One-
is the hit now, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the green.
Even if we got the clutch to hold, the transmission I think would start spitting gears out.
Especially if you're in a middle gear, it'll probably eat it, like on the middle of the shaft,
Yep.
where it has the most.
Deflection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always the middle gears. Everyone's like, oh, it was fine till I hit third. And I'm like, yeah, the gears go from this to this.
Their third is the least supported.
They touch tips, and that's the end of the show.
Yeah, you can't touch it.
Story as old as time. Yeah, so it didn't really pick up a ton of power with that jam there. It's killer. It's at under 8 pounds of boost. We're making about 480 wheel, maybe 500 on a cold day. I'm pumped. This thing's gonna be psychotic. We rated the clutch, excuse me, we checked the clutch rating. It can hold 580 foot-pounds of torque, so I think we're probably right around there, and any more we add the boost, it's just gonna start killing this thing. So I'm excited. It should be drivable, reliable, and maybe even somewhat usable at this power, but just a ludicrous time machine warp speed demon. So I'm excited about all those things.
All of that's true.
All that, yeah.
I agree.
Pumped. I cannot wait to drive this car. It is raining out there. It's not the night for it, but I am wicked, wicked pumped. You ready to make some fireballs?
Yep. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Yep, I can get
do
you
it.
guys hooked up.
Yes. Holy shit.
I can pull off here.
Yeah, hit it.
Can we try it again? I'm gonna try to make it bigger. I'm gonna try and make more boom.
Yeah, do it.
You ready?
He's gonna do more. Bigger. Yeah.
Is it good?
That's pretty good. Yeah, yeah. Do it again. Do it again. Yes! It is. That's pretty cool. That's sick. That's the greatest. That was sick. I loved it.
That's why I took a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna overdo this quick.
Yeah, overdo it is the way to go.
I was
that
like-
was sick.
I was
Fire
like, hold on.
out the
I,
wastegate tubes.
I don't disappoint over here. Hold
That was
on.
hot.
All four for sure.
Well, you want to see how much boost it made? It probably hit the wastegate immediately. Yeah, 8 pounds.
Yeah, immediately pop that shit over.
4,900. Yeah, just.
It was good. That was fun as hell.
I could hear it. I set up a table that progressively did retard as you. So that's where you get that roar, like, yeah. It's not, I mean, it's smooth too for as funny as like how much fireball it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want it to be. There's no sense in like chucking a turbine blade.
No, I was like, are we standing in a place that's a bad idea?
I'll have to check out your videos then.
No, my guy's an artist with the backfires. Perfect.
Anti-lag,
Yeah, excuse me, anti-lag.
but also fireballs.
Also fireballs. All right, so Powerkraut version 2 is coming off the dyno, making near 500 wheel horsepower, shooting fireballs at under 8 pounds of boost. This thing is killer. You are a wizard. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, dude. It's midnight, as it always is, because we get here
Yeah.
late every time. But man, I cannot wait to drive this car. It probably makes 600 crank horsepower, and in this little thing that's geared up and super
like
nimble.
we said, you probably added 200 horsepower.
Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
incredibly wicked before, so it's gonna be bananas. I cannot wait to drive this thing. It is pouring raining. We're gonna put it in the trailer. That is it for this week's video. Stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. I will drive this thing soon as hard as I can, but I'm pretty sure if we get these hot turbos and up pipes wet, it's just gonna crack everything. So we're gonna skip it and put it in the trailer and call this a win. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick check.